Hi, Mandy.
Hi,
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Nice. How's classes been?
I so call had my first class last Wednesday.
How'd it go?
Um, I think it went okay. I have a so-called this week for that class. We meet again, and next week it'll be online. It's that kind of not like the other kind of hybrid class where you like meet other week. This is like at least meet 2 weeks and then offline for maybe 2 or 1 week. Is that kind of like that's the way this class is.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's like not like that kind other kind of hybrid class. It's like
yeah, and I saw you sent this too. I'm gonna open it up. Um, um, others must. Um, okay. So for your TESOL class, have you been able to keep up with discussion boards? I know that's like the only thing you have to do regularly.
a mess up last week. It was just that one quiz,
Uh-huh.
and I so called did my 2 attempts on it, and like it was the number 4 question that I
Oh,
got wrong out of the 5, and for
yeah.
both of them, the answer I was incorrect until like I looked at my answer I got last time when I took it,
Huh.
and that one was also incorrect. But like last time, the class for that TESOL class, that fall, it had issues. So like for that quiz, the first quiz, he just gave us 100% because it had some technical difficulty with the brace space and his class. So like that for that one last time, it was a 80, same score as this quiz I had. But like that he for that quiz, he gave 100 for everybody for that first
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I do remember we talked about how you had done the quiz already. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So like this time around, I so-called got know what was on the quiz and stuff. Everything is the same. Just like make sure which one's correct, and then to like mark it right for it.
um, and then you have a discussion board.
Yeah, for this Thursday.
Yeah. Have you been able to do that?
That one I need to start. That discussion board for Tesla I need to start, and then I started the first major assignment for the early ed class. It's so-called due this Wednesday.
Students,
Yeah,
that's so soon.
yeah. And like most of the stuff for this professor class, it don't open until like the day of the class or something like that. And then she don't open it until like not early in the morning, but like early in the morning, like 7 or 8 that time. So like it's not like when it hits midnight, it's be open. It'll be like early normal morning. That's when she opened the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you have the parent involved. Oh, Wednesday's tomorrow. Um, I know you just said that she has it open until the class for the due date. My question for you is, there's not a lot of information on what data science is.
Yeah. Let me might as well see if I can send you the assignment description too.
So
Because like for the description, it's not, it don't really say when. Like I know it's due tomorrow, but like is it like before class or like midnight or something? Because
Oh, I see.
it's not very descriptive in a way. And then like I don't think I see the little submission box for it yet on the Brightspace. So yeah, like almost like the whole discussion, the Brightspace for this class is it's not open. It's kind of closed for most of the stuff. Most of the stuff is closed until
Yeah.
like the day of the class. Then it'll be open.
What you could do is you could send an email to your professor. So we'll look at the assignment together.
Mm.
But I would suggest sending an email to your professor like today. I just want to make sure that today is tomorrow, or like what time is the deadline for tomorrow's date. They should be able to tell you.
Yeah, I just sent it the assignment, the first one.
Oh, okay. Oh wow, okay. It's pretty sure.
Yeah, it don't really say what when like the how other classes will have like it's due at like 11:59 or something on certain days. It's just say the date. No say the time.
Yeah. So if you're comfortable, you can send, since we're meeting already, you can send the email now, so you don't have to worry about finding out the deadline after we're done meeting. And then we can talk a little bit more about this assignment, see how we can get something started, just so you have it ready to go on your own today or tomorrow morning if the due date is.
Yeah. So call like when I at last Tuesday I had sent the email about the Brightspace. She said it would open like in the morning. The next day, yeah, it opened like at 7 in the morning for the stuff. So yeah.
But did it give you like a deadline for the, like, you know how the thing can be open, but the deadline might be like 11.
Let me see if the Brightspace have anything. Because she like last week the discussion board about like the introduce ourselves to the class, she somehow didn't open that too. To have a classmate remind her to open it. Like most of her stuff somehow is still closed.
Knowing that though, I mean, might be better to ask her because it kind of sounds like they might be kind of forgetful.
Yeah. Yeah, in my assignment little folder thingy, there's nothing at all. It's just like assignment, view history, there are no assignments. Like that's usually where I see to like submit stuff. There's nothing at all there. Nothing at all. Yeah, like for she so-called upload every week stuff, and she just have the for grades right now. It's only the first week, discussion board like discussion question self introduction. That one, that's the only little thing in the grade book part right now, and it's so-called 20 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you want to send her an email?
Yeah, I think I'll send it after to just double check because so-called for her little office hours are like in the afternoon, 12:30. And that's like when she replied to me around 12 something last time. Like after our meeting, she responded to my little email to her.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Okay, so then let's take a look at this together and just like kind of get your brain. things.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I'm gonna use the same Google Doc that we used for your other assignment,
Mm-hmm.
the psychometrics one. And just kind of stuff. Um, share you in the chat. Um, okay, so it looks like it's just asking some questions. Um, so what I think might be beneficial for us to do together, just so you're all set when we're done with our time here, is just like think of little ideas that we can have for each question. And then that way when you're writing, you can start just writing down what your idea was. So I'm gonna kind of separate these questions. Okay. So what is your memory of your own friend's involvement in your education?
Mm. So, Cole, for this little essay, I did start writing some of this stuff already.
Oh, okay.
I just like need to make sure it's 3 pages and stuff.
Okay, so you don't need any help with this?
I just for this one, I think it's just to make sure it's 3 pages, and then like everything, we really make it like the parent involvement.
Hmm.
Because somehow I was going off topic and stuff, kind of stuff, but that worked.
Okay. Is there anything that you think I could do that would be helpful with this right now? Or
Mm, um, I think for this one, it's really just to make sure it's like connected, like parent involvement stuff.
did you want me to read it? Is that helpful?
Yeah, let me
I'm gonna share with you. So I can't.
Mm.
I think your questions answer what I'm sorry. I think what you wrote is connected to the prompt. You talk about how the parents' involvement or lack of parents' involvement due to certain circumstances um wasn't so helpful, or sometimes it was helpful. Um, yeah, the only thing, and you have a point, is that you have to try to shorten it to make it 3 pages, because so far it looks like even if you take away like the questions, because I know
Yeah.
the there, it might be more. Um, so what might be helpful is going over and have you ever done this strategy where you read your see what fits, what doesn't fit?
I think not really.
Do you want to try like a part together just to see what it's like?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This question, or let's start with this one. Um, think of your early childhood, college. So I'm gonna read it out loud, and when I
Mhm.
read it out loud, I want you to start thinking like, "Oh, she read that out loud, and that really makes sense," or "She read that out loud, and that one didn't make sense." Um, during my childhood years, both of my parents would be the ones picking me up from daycare. They would take turns picking me up from school at the daycare. I went to one daycare, and the teachers there spoke mostly English. During circle time, the teachers might also teach the students numbers in their own language. In elementary years, both of my parents would pick me up. When my mom was pregnant with my younger brother, she would be in the car when she was done with her doctor's appointments. There was one time when my first youngest brother, dad, and mom were in the car. I think it was when picking us up from school. My mom was asking me, my younger brother, to guess the gender of my younger sibling. I had guessed boy, and my brother had guessed girl. It has been my dad picking me up from school since my mom changed jobs. And when my two younger brothers were born on March 13th, 2007, and June 21st, 2012, my mom kind of stopped helping me with my homework when I was in 5th to 8th grade. So I was kind of struggling in school, and when I got a C in 8th grade, my mom was not surprised. That's because she said, now the teachers are given the real true grades. During my parent conference with my 8th grade teacher, the next day after the meeting, the teacher had mentioned that my mom had said what my mom had said about my grades in class. My class was surprised because they're all used to the stereotype. The Asians are good at math and always get good grades. Was there anything there that you feel like maybe you can take out?
Mm, 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 um, I think maybe this part from it.
Okay.
I'm gonna delete this part from it.
Okay. Because I think it's really important that you mentioned one, that the fact that your teachers didn't really speak, I'm sorry, your teachers only spoke English. Because what is English your first language, Mandy?
I also speak Cantonese and English, so yeah.
Okay.
So English is my second language.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that is really important that you mentioned that because I mean, in the United States, it's like so common for schools to only speak English in their classroom. That there's so many students that speak other languages at home. It's harder to to learn that way, and it's hard to feel like school is a place for you when your teachers don't really understand the culture behind the other languages that you speak, or like why that is. So that part was really cool. Um, and I see that you connected it to how your parents would pick you up, and how your dad's involvement was more limited because English is not a language that he spoke. Um, um, I was in 5th to 8th grade. I think that sentence makes sense.
The word kind of.
Yeah. And then I noticed that it's kind of like a phrase that, and I used it right now. I noticed that it's a phrase that you're writing,
Mhm.
which can fit in different scenarios, but since we're paying attention to of uh how much space we have, we want to make sure that we're keeping it concise and maybe a little bit shorter. So I would reread for the phrase kind of and try to see if you need it in that sentence. And if you don't need it, you can take it out. And if you do need it, you can leave it.
Okay.
You can correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes.
but in your conclusion, first, I know you haven't gotten to a conclusion yet. You've answered all the questions. But in your conclusion, maybe you can connect all these pieces together because it kind of sounds like you didn't have the chance to have very close connection with any of your teachers, right?
Yeah, most of it. Most of it.
Yeah. So maybe at the prompt asks you to reflect. Um, oh, um, so you as a student, right now, when you're reflecting back on this,
Mm-hmm.
why do you think it's important um, to reflect on your family's involvement?
I think it's really kind of like to like um kind of like what I kind of mentioned. I think like about how it's kind of like the parent is the one that's really helping the student or like me with school with the homework and stuff, and then like if they're like yeah they that when they're helping with the homework they're kind of like understanding what their kids learning in school and stuff, and then like if they volunteer for the field trips
Mhm.
or volunteer for like other show the school events or come to the see the little see the kid perform if they have performances that like makes the kid feel happy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point for me. I was gonna say maybe you can add, but we're talking about having making space to only shirts.
Yeah.
But that's a really good point too, right? It's
Mm.
involvement. It's important for students to develop because if the student sees that their parents they're more likely to feel motivated.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with teachers, right? We
Mm-hmm.
talk a lot about your paper. And that's kind of why I was asking the question. We talked a lot about your paper. Really struggled in school and there was not a lot of support at home for different reasons.
Yeah.
But maybe having a teacher that um
I think the really one during high school was that one design teacher, but after that sophomore year he left the school. Or sophomore or junior year he left my school.
that's always a sad feeling. I remember I didn't get along with not get along, but I wasn't really close to a lot of teachers there. But whenever there was a teacher that I was like, oh, they're cool, and they would leave.
Yeah, like most of them be leaving the school.
Um,
So it's kind of also hard to form a connection or like know the teacher and get them to like understand your situation in school.
yeah, that's very true. And that's also an important point.
Yeah.
Maybe not one that can speaker, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an important reflection that you can ways get closer to being a teacher candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, the only thing I can suggest reread for um for the filler phrases of like kind of
Mm-hmm.
reread for some things that might feel repetitive. Did you want me to put notes at the bottom of the paper? Would that be helpful?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Hopefully this will help you get a little bit shorter.
Yeah. I know the way I'm answering it is not like in a question form, but like, it's gonna become like a paragraph. Like, that's the
Yeah.
final paper.
No, that makes sense. I'm just gonna add a comment here and then can do whatever you want. Comment.
Mhm. Yeah, when I look back at the email that I sent to this professor, she actually replied to me close to like 5.
Oh,
Yeah. Even though she like during her office hours, yeah, she replied to me like at close to 4 something 5. Yeah, 4:18 on Tuesday last week.
yeah. The thing with professors is that you never know when. Some professors are really good. They'll tell you like, "Hey, I'm going to reply at most a day." Never.
Yeah, yeah. I thought she was gonna reply around the time the afternoon, but like she replied late in the afternoon, close to 8. But I don't see that she's teaching any classes, so like I don't know if she was replying so late.
Mm, well, yeah. I I I don't. But you could. So something that I've learned, and again, if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. But something that I've learned being in school for a while now is that like I can't control when a professor
Yeah,
replies,
yeah.
but I'm gonna send it out and see what happens. If they reply to me, cool. If they don't, then I know that it's not something that I could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so sponsors. So the last note I'm gonna put is that you have very good points, but they tend to be kind of long.
Oh,
So
but yeah.
I would try to shorten the points to make sure that it's within uh, the 3 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess now that you have all this information that you feel like is more than 3 pages, really reread and say, hey, I want to keep this, or no, I don't want to keep that.
Mm-hmm.
And that should also.
Okay.
Okay. And then I know you have the D2L course coming up, and then in another week you have the psychometrics paper that we kind of already broke down.
Yeah.
You've been able to meet with anyone or get a start on that? Feeling about it.
Oh, with the professor yet? I think I might. Um, I know it's still called through the 17th or something, right?
Yes, or is it? It's due, yeah, 17th.
I think I might meet them maybe next week or the week after next. On those
Okay,
so-called Tuesday, Thursdays. Those are like really the only 2 days I'm like able to go to the campus to like maybe meet with the professors. Yeah. So those are the
okay,
days.
okay. And then yeah, just be mindful of that date. I know it seems like so far away, but it's long. Um, and I just want to check in. Is there anything else I could be doing to help you or support you better that maybe I'm not doing?
Mm, I think I should be okay. I think I might so-called, I know that so-called I got an email from the Northeastern about the UPass thing, about like so-called part-time stuff, about you can opting in for it. I so-called send them a opt-in, and then so-called they resend another email. They had a little form set to like if you want to opt in, you need to fill out this form.
Mhm.
But so-called don't have. I clicked onto it. It said you're not able to like go into fill out the form.
Oh,
Yeah.
um,
So I'm not sure where should I go to like ask like.
So there are two things that I am kind of thinking of that you
Mhm.
might be able to do. If you're planning on coming to campus on Tuesday or Wednesday, I mean Tuesday, Thursday. So let's say you come.
Yeah, I might come on Wednesdays too because I have class too. So
I know I think at the help desk, you can go there. That's usually where they distribute the U-passes. Do you know where the help desk is?
is it the one that's on the in the other building that I went to that they mostly take picture for ID and they have the view pass stuff? That one?
Yes, yes. They might be able to answer your question or direct you to someone that can answer your question. Or I know when they said opt into this, let me look now. There is a specific email that should be able to answer all of your UCAS questions.
Yeah, because so-called I know like next week or something, the week after, I'll be getting my refund and my FastPay will pay for my tuition. So like, yeah, if like I will need to use my refund a little bit to like pay for my UPass.
Yeah. Uh, so, right. Okay. Oh, here, I'm gonna share my screen. The other thing I'm
Mm-hmm.
um so we have an answer. Questions about the UPass program directed to the welcome desk at NEIU, or you call this number. Um, and again, I would also encourage you to email,
Mm-hmm.
essentially email. Did you have this information, or did you want me to send it?
I think I have it. I didn't look at it again, maybe.
Okay, so yeah, I would definitely email the welcome desk, call, or when you come Wednesday, go to the welcome desk. You're gonna be here during the hours that they're open, right?
So-called my class is at 4:15, and I think tomorrow I have tutoring from 2 to 4, 3:50 tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be in the library building.
2 to 3:50. So you'll be here by 2, is what you're saying?
I'm done with my daycare at 1, and then I'm gonna ride the bus to the campus, and then I'll be here at 2 to like my end time with this class, with my class at 7.
Okay, let me check what the welcome desk hours are for this semester.
Or like I can come on the Thursday and ask the question about it.
Um, book this. So Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So you should be good. So yeah. So email, or you could do it when.
Yeah, because that's the only really other question, because I so-called sent the email of opting in, like I sent my name, my student ID, that's really all they needed. And then they send an email with the so-called form, but the opt-in form for the part-time is not open for some reason. And it's so-called need, like I need a request access to it, that kind of form.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, for some reason, for that form, the opt-in for part-time, that little Google form. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a plan now. I would like to, or if you would like to, or we can check in maybe like 2 weeks from now just to see how your assignments are going. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, and then like for this little class, I have those little meetings that not every weekend or Fridays.
I was seeing that the Zoom stuff and the.
Yeah, I attended that one this past Friday. And so-called the next week Saturday, I have to like attend that little Zoom thingy from Oakton at 9 to 11. Yeah, beyond that Zoom. And I think that one, so-called like some of these little Zoom or in-person meetings on those weekends, I have to write a discussion board about it.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm not really that good with taking notes when I'm like at certain events and stuff, so I'm not sure how like I would really do the discussion boards. And like if I would need to ask, if I need more help, I ask my professor and classmates or something like that for those kind of discussion boards.
You could do that. So you could like, hey, I know like right after the Zoom, be like, hey, we're at this thing together. Do you want to take a moment to talk about it? Or I don't know, send voice messages or something. Another thing that could also helpful is, so it's kind of, it can be hard to like listen to someone and
Mhm.
also write down what's important. But what you can do is literally right after the meeting, sit down and ask yourself, what do I remember? What stuck with me the most? And what do I think is important? And then hopefully that will help you answer the questions I read. Actually, is there like specific questions that your professor asks you for those meetings?
I
Answer on
think it'll be open when it's alcohol that week, so I won't be able to really see the questions. But I think in the little so-called syllabus, it kind of mentioned that one is really for that Saturday in October, that October 14th. That the week 9 there'll be a discussion board about that. So-called I have to highlight 2 of the sessions that I attend, and then post my reflection of the session.
Oh, so it's, yeah. So then maybe, yeah, just writing down what stuck with you, what you thought was important, or what really felt resonated with you and why. That could like kind of jog your memory whenever you're writing the D12 post again. I don't know. Does that sound like a helpful idea?
Yeah.
Okay. And then again, it could also be a good idea to just go to your professor's office hours and be like, hey, I really struggle with taking notes while people are talking. What do you recommend me doing to be able to complete the discussion? Maybe they have.
Oh yeah, and then I also noticed that for the one that I'm doing Zoom next week, Saturday, I have to write at the discussion board for the week before about that one. From 9 to 11, that one. Yeah, that one. There's also another one with the discussion board about it.
So it also kind of sounds like for, it's coming up fast for this class. Let me check in with you this super quick. For this class, you have also this assignment.
Yeah, so-called reflection of the 3 weeks chapters. Yeah.
Okay, and you're okay with that? You feel good about that?
For that one, the so-called next week online stuff. Can we meet next week too? Maybe.
Yeah, we can meet and we can talk and see if you need help organizing your assignments.
Yeah, for that one, I'm not sure when she'll open the discussion boards and stuff because next so-called it'll be considered next week. This stuff is online stuff, so I'm not sure when she really open it. Like, is she still gonna open it on Wednesday or Monday or when?
Yeah. Okay, give me 1 second, and that'll be our last thing that we talk about today because unfortunately our time is up. I'll see you next week. So if there's anything that comes up, I need. You would think I would have my Calendly link memorized. I do not.
Yeah, because I know for so-called this class, we have like a bunch of group work stuff. So yeah, so-called this Wednesday, we're supposed to have a little journal article groups, come up with those little groups. I so-called have some classmates sitting next to me on this past Wednesday, and I asked them if they wanted to be part of a group together, and they said okay. But I'm not sure if like I'll meet with them tomorrow and see like if they were gonna be a group again or not for next week. For this week, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of questions about the class. Have you considered meeting with the professor?
I think I might for next week.
Okay, I agree. I think that would be a good idea. Because the syllabus is pretty vague, if I'm being honest. Like it tells you what you need to do, but it doesn't give you any detail about it.
Yeah, it does kind of I know for one part of it it's called for the week 5, 7, 12, and 13 there's no assignments due, so called. The no deliverable is so called no assignments due. Those weeks, those 4 weeks are so called nothing due. Yeah.
Okay.
I think those are like the online class days. Those days.
Nice.
Yeah, 5 is online. Oh no, 7th is in person.
Mhm.
12 is online, 13's online. In person. 13's in person. But there's no assignments due. It's so-called we're meeting with our group members for another project. I think like there's at least 2 group projects for this class. Yeah. There's
Okay,
like
well, it's
2,
good that you're asking questions about this now
yeah,
because
there's like 2 group projects, and then the first group project stuff is like a journal article thing. Yeah. I think tomorrow she'll mention what's the article and like how we're supposed to do the group stuff.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's very fast, like it's so fast. Meeting one day each week and then like the assignments that do the next week or so.
Yeah, I do see that there's an assignment except for those weeks that you were talking about. So the nice thing though is that she kind of breaks it down in the syllabus, but again, there's not a lot of information. So definitely try. I would highly suggest trying to meet with her in that way. When we meet each other again, we also have a better idea of how we organize ourselves to make sure that we do this as stressless as possible. I know stress is normal. Sometimes we can reduce it. Okay, so next week, Monday, I'm out of office because it's Labor Day and
Yes.
So I have Tuesday, Wednesday. Is there or anytime?
I think for next week Wednesdays.
Okay, this is the time I have free now. Oh, this is the time I have free on Wednesday.
It's so called next week is online. So if is there a 1 p.m.?
I have one for Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And then you want it to be Google Meet or
I think I'll do Google Meet. I'll be at the public library on that Wednesday because so called online, so everything.
okay. Um, okay. So in the meantime, what you got going on is I'm gonna write it in the one that I already shared. Email professor. From the project. All on a good day. Or I guess this is a suggestion. Email slash meeting. And then you have a module coming up for that class. And then you also have the D12 post for your other class. special. Yeah. And then you have that's two. Special word one. And what else?
Oh, my professor, the armor, he sent me an email because so-called he saw me went to touring last week for his class.
Mm-hmm.
He so-called sent me like, I see you were in the tutor about work for TESOL 343. I wanted to remind you to carefully reread the instructions on all assignments. They have changed to varied degrees, so you will want to focus on the new instruction instead of using past assignments.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not reusing it. I'm just like, reusing past assignments. Don't forget, I am here to help. Yeah.
Okay.
He just sent that like a few minutes ago, that email about the first assignment.
The first assignment was
The
quiz,
one
right?
due on the 17th.
The one, oh yeah, the psychometric
Yeah.
paper that we broke down.
Yeah.
Is the directions that you gave me what you posted on D12 for this semester?
They're the same thing. It look the same, yeah. It's
Okay.
just like I didn't really understand what he wanted for the thing, so I might need to meet with him so call too.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. So I
Yeah.
also, because you should want to see like, I think you would do a quick question and be like, hey, would I, this, I'm doing XYZ like tutoring, I just want to make sure that I understand what you're asking for me to do.
Yeah.
So, professor. Um, okay. Right.
Yeah.
So I put this up here. There's some of the stuff that you have coming up. And then next week when we meet, we'll touch base on this and any assignments that you might be working on.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah, I think for next week, then I'll most likely be meeting my professors on the Tuesdays.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
And if anything, just feel free to email me. Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good week, Mandy.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, một same room number này.